Hello everyone, welcome on back to Survival Challenge. Alright, so first things first, I'm just gonna sell the one thing of bottled goat milk. It's still a fairly good price, so I'm gonna try to get it sold now when I can. That way it's not gonna pile up or anything. It doesn't take that long to get to the farmer's market. I have now officially went through and I have been cutting some trees down in here. I think I did miss one. Yeah, one of the bushes. But yeah, you can see I cut down a few trees. So in theory it should be kind of a straight shot through here now. So it looks a lot better. There might still be one or two that have to be cut, but we'll see. But yeah, all the trees have been cut. I'll probably slowly move them to the sawmill. It doesn't need to be done immediately because, well, we have a lot of things going on the farm actually. So we have a couple of fields to plant today. This one I'm hoping to get spread with lime, as well as the soybean harvest over there. And next month the canola is ready. We got that, and then, well, obviously hoping to get that field planted. So we have a little bit more going on than what you would think, really. So, you know, it's not the top of the list to get a grass field planted when we already have grass fields, so it's not a priority item. And eventually we'll all have to start lining up fields. Well, we don't have to line up all of the fields, but try to line up some things, and you know, then we can start getting some of them combined. Then we'll have less fields, but they'll be bigger. That's kind of the thought process. Kind of happens in basically every survival challenge I've done. We hit a point where we have a bunch of small fields, and then we just start combining some and making bigger fields instead. Usually it's a little bit better that way. At least long term. You don't have to manage, 8 different fields. You're managing 4. It's a lot easier to manage. Not bad money. It's not much, it's only one pallet, but that way, come next winter, we don't have a ton piling up or anything. It's just whatever we get throughout the year. Well, it's one less to pile up, I should say. I'm sure eventually we'll hit a point where it's going to be quite a bit of goat milk going through there. We're not there yet. But I know on Riverbend Springs, when I first did goats, I don't remember how many we had, but they were producing like more than one full 1,000 liters a month. They're doing like 2,000-3,000 liters a month. It's like, what the heck? We were having issues keeping up in the dairy. I know. Yeah, it was a lot. So I'm sure at some point these are going to be very similar. I know this dairy is a fairly fast one, so it shouldn't hopefully have issues keeping up. But obviously we'll kind of see for certain. But yeah, and then obviously with the canola we'll try to do some sort of mill. That was kind of the plan. Place it some way into the current production sites. I don't know what kind of production rate they have. That's one thing, but it's the only thing with the oil mills is they all have windmills, so it's like, alright, how do I place this in here? I don't think regardless of how I place it, it's going to make sense. So, kind of what I'm looking at this point. Probably want some more solid fertilizer. We'll do sorghum in the one, and then doesn't make sense to do canola because that's the big field. That's gonna be the big field. That's the plan, at least. That way it's not something that we're going to harvest all the time. It'll be a little bit easier to keep on top of. Because I think canola's like a 10-month growth time. So it wouldn't be that bad to do. Could do soybeans again. I mean, nothing's stopping us. I don't want to do too much corn until I kind of figure out how much space that we have. Obviously, a lot of these require special productions. You know, having the mill, we could do flour, but obviously I want to make sure there's enough production cycles to do canola first. Yeah, I'll do sorghum in this one, and then I'll do soybeans in that one. At least for the time being. Potentially in the future we'll be doing something else too, but I gotta make sure we have enough room for in the productions and enough production cycles to have room to do other things. Otherwise I wouldn't really be planning things out that well, and that's, yeah, I like to try to plan things a little bit. Do steering assist. Yeah, after this we'll probably do the harvest, I would think. Then we can see if it needs lime. If it does, we can get it limed. But then we'll get the big field done. It's kind of the one of the priority things to get done this week, or this video. And then next month I'm hoping to get it planted, which will take a while. I have looked at modded corn headers too, so that we do have some cheaper options now. They're not like a ton cheaper, but they are cheaper, which is nice. For the same size, so this one's 12 meters, same size. It's, you know, a couple grand less. It's not a ton, but it's something. We also have this one if we wanted to. That'd be 24 grand cheaper. It's a little bit smaller too, but we also have some bigger options too. So if we want to stick around the same price point, we could get something bigger. As far as I know, these don't have combine brands with them, so it's, you know, third-party headers. That's generally my rule of thumb, is same brand as combine for headers, unless it's like, I didn't round out these roads. Yeah, same brand as combine for headers. Unless obviously it's like one of those where they don't have combines. Well, I think I'll probably just start with time lapse. We'll finish out these two fields fairly quick. And we can probably work on the harvest and then obviously lime spreading towards the end. So I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done.
Is out of line. Although you say you can prove more, I can feel it down to my core. In a world where our words go, I sit and believe what I'm told. But in this blue world filled with bones, I'll just keep dancing on my own. It's a useless waste of time. I don't care what's on your mind. The truth was never for us.
Alright, so we're just about done here with the planting. Then we can get the planter kind of put away, at least for a little bit. I don't think I'll be replanting that soybean field today. I think the primary goal is to try to get that field actually lined. so we can start working in it a little bit more even after that. So yeah, I did plant a little bit on sorghum in the big field by accident. It shouldn't matter. I'll just be able to direct drill right over top of it, so it's not going to actually matter. Really, I should start actually parking this in the shed. Now I'll probably, yeah, I'll just grab the trailer with this. Since I'm driving it right now, why not? It's not that hard just to pick it up. Can I put it on the side here somewhere? Somewhere it kind of makes sense. Yeah, the lime, we'll have to buy a bunch of lime too, I'm guessing. Chances are I will be liming this field, but we'll have to buy a lot for that one. That's what I'm kind of seeing and thinking, at least. Don't know how much we have on hand, but I would assume it's not going to be enough. Yeah, 7,000 liters is not going to be enough. There might be some in here too, but there's 13,000 liters in there. So 20,000 liters is not going to finish that whole thing. That's pretty obvious. And if we do this one too, which I think we will, it looked like the lime, not the lime, the loam portion was low for lime. So it looked like, at least. Usually the loam seems to kind of lower down or get worse quicker than the other sections do. That's what I've noticed. I was gonna look, how big is this header for this? 35? It is. Literally, if we bought one of those corn headers, it would be bigger than this. But to get something bigger, it's $130,000. Unless there might be, obviously, mods, you know, there might be modded options. But, yeah, that's a lot of money. That's kind of thing, there might be mods, so we can kind of check that out in the future, but see if there are modded options to get something bigger, because that is something I might be wanting, especially if we start making these fields bigger than they are, combining them and whatnot. Might be nice to get something a little bit bigger. Just like I have kind of said, I kind of want to get some sort of shed for this at some point, for just the combine, and be down here somewhere. Be easier to kind of navigate the combine, especially with a bigger header. And we have a limited opening kind of through the trees to the actual main farm. I kind of want to make sure it's, you know, in a good placement in there. Which I have kind of gained, you know, looked a little bit for sheds, but they are obviously not cheap. They're not cheap, so that's kind of the thing I've noticed. I downloaded another one in here. This one? Yeah. Which probably would not, yeah, that probably wouldn't work. We have kind of limited options of what would work for such a large combine, so. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and start another time lapse. We'll get this finished out nice and quick. So I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done.
We could lock horns all day, but really who cares what we say? We will be lost before we fade. almost hear it cry. This feeling you somehow deny. Just how do you fail to heal the roaring grinding of your gears? As you dictate the laws, your future self honors the flaws. And some of us who are awake watch as you are fixing your mistakes. By along the stone, the subtle movements of the land. Within the limits of these chains, there's only so much to explain. One day you will find this wall, the one that's infinitely tall. And as we move the hour around, are we just dancing in the sand?
Alright, so we're just about done here with the soybean harvest. I'll kind of probably put the harvester over here. We'll have the canola harvest next month. Of course, we'll get the mill in there and whatnot too. Oh, going off course. My line kind of disappeared for steering assist, so it makes driving at different camera angles slightly harder, but not sure how long it would take to get both those views aligned, but I guess we're about to find out. That one might take a minute. It might. Probably a little bit more than a minute, but it is a wide spread, but obviously kind of start emptying it out pretty quick too. See how well we're doing for soybeans after this. It should be, yeah, it'd likely be all the soybeans that we'll get. Yeah, it would be. It's February, so what we get is what we get. And it's looking to be about $117,000 at max price. They also have olives to sell in there, which used to be over $100,000. So we could technically afford a bigger oil mill if we wanted, but right, while that is filling up, how much can I fit in here? Quite a bit. I don't think I'll need that much. By another 10,000, and maybe another 5,000 for good measure. Yeah, we still have quite a bit on hand then. Yeah, 25,000 liters on hand, almost 26. That should go a ways. I would not be surprised if I have to top it off a little bit in there maybe, but so I'll probably just go ahead and start up a time lapse. We'll just finish out this field as well as that far one there. See how much lime we end up needing, but I mean, it's not looking terrible here. This is also just a top up. You're just topping it off. It usually uses a lot less than if you're obviously, well, putting it on the first time. So. Anyways, I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done.
It's a useless waste of time. I don't care what's on your mind. The truth was never for us to find. We could lock horns all day, but really who cares what we say? We will be lost before we fade.
I think I might have overestimated how much lime I was gonna need. Just a little bit. We used what, 11,000 liters on this field? That's not much. A couple spots are say it's really high. I don't know how it got really high. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, I thought it was far worse than it actually was, I guess. Oh, wrong menu. Yeah, there's that little menu, that little spot right there that's like really high. Everything else is normal. But yeah, that one spot though, it is not. A lot of the corners of the fields are like that. I wonder if it's not just a little bit of overspray, I guess, from, you know, from doing like this field and then you're getting a little bit here or something. I don't know. Just a thought, but yeah. Next time, I'm hoping that we can get into this field and get it planted, which will take much longer than liming did. Wow, that did not take long at all. That'll be like a end of the video thing, just sit there and get it planted out quick, but which it really wouldn't be very quick. Well, that is about everything for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.